Someone told me this a long time ago, and it still sticks with me. You have to learn to read the room. Now, I assume that no one has ever told Larry Whitten that. You see, Larry Whitten decided to buy a hotel. So he moved to northern New Mexico, to this small town, and he decided that this is the best opportunity. And this is what he did. This hotel was at the base of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. The name of the street is the Paseo del Pueblo. The area is Taos Pueblo. The whole area is very Latino. Very Latino. It's always been Latino forever. It was part of Mexico. That's what it was. And he decided he had one mission: to resurrect. This is genius. Resurrect a failing hotel. So he had one master plan. He was on CNN with Jane Velez Mitchell talking about what it was that he did to fix the hotel. Let's listen.
You say that you're trying to turn around a dilapidated motel. Did you or did you not tell somebody whose name was Martine to say that his name was Martin? Or similar changes?
Yes, I asked Martine to change it to Martin.
Why?
To better understand it over the telephone.
You can't understand Martine? Do you know that the vast majority of people who live in this community where you have your hotel are Latino? So your customers are going to be, to a large extent, Latino. Now, how do you treat the customers when they come in? Do you ask them also to change their names? Like if I came in with Jane Velez Mitchell so that you could better understand my name, would you ask me to change it?
No, ma'am.
It's ludicrous, sir. So the idea that you're presupposing that people cannot understand Martine, but they can understand Martin, really says a lot more about you, sir, than it says about your customers or anybody else.
As I listen to this, can you not see the buzzsaw coming? I mean, can you imagine Larry, who's born in Virginia, who decides to go to New Mexico, to northern New Mexico, where it's almost an entire Latino community that has been Latino forever. It's the nature of how things have been for hundreds of years here. All of the streets have Hispanic names. They all have Spanish names. The name of the mountain range is a Spanish name. The name of the street that he is on is a Spanish name. Everything is Adobe, okay? And what he decides is he's going to anglicize it. If everybody is named Martin, or we name everybody Joe, no Jose's here. I have Jose's in my family. If there are no Jose's, somehow all of the Latino community will what? Flock to this hotel? Hey, I hear we got a racist running at this place. It's going to be fantastic. And they're all going to line up. He's going to be some specialty. But you know what's fascinating? What's fascinating is as he goes on with Jane Velez Mitchell, I think you can kind of get the idea that she's probably a Latino, obviously because of the maiden name. I'm assuming it's a maiden name. And he goes on. Let's listen again just to the first part of this conversation. And think about this now. Think about what would happen if you're this guy, all of the national press that he is getting because he decides he's going to make everybody change their names. They have fired people because for whatever reason they were speaking Spanish, and he said that nobody's allowed to speak Spanish inside this hotel. No, it has to be English. And then he's going to sit down with a national anchor who is Latino. And you imagine he'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, I made some mistakes, and he kind of slowed back, and he'd pull back. Listen to how confidently he answers the very first question. Let's go.
You say that you're trying to turn around a dilapidated motel. Did you or did you not tell somebody whose name was Martine to say that his name was Martin? Or similar changes?
Yes, I asked Martine to change it to Martin.
Why?
To better understand it over the telephone.
You see what I mean? I mean, the brain trust is extraordinary. I guess that somehow they were separated at birth. Sarah Palin went north and he went south. Can you imagine? You would just assume that if you're going to go on national TV, that I don't care whoever's on the other side of you, whether they're Latino or not, but you're talking about something that is so fundamentally racist on its face that you might be able to go, gosh, maybe how do I shine this up? How do I turn this into something that doesn't seem that I'm wearing a white sheet all of the time?
I mean, Jack, can you imagine what would happen if this guy bought a hotel in Chinatown? Or in some other not completely white bread area of America? I mean, what's good? He's got to buy a Chinese restaurant. He'd be like, I don't know about this lo mein. Let's just call it noodles. How's that? Is that all right? Because it might scare people, this lo mein. What is that? No one knows what that is.
Yeah, maybe what we'll do is in this Chinese restaurant, we'll just start selling ribs. It's Chinese. What do you want?
Yeah, and sushi, Japanese restaurant, sushi. What's that? All right, you're going to start cooking all the sushi.
Yeah, all this stuff is raw.
No one like that. That's not the way we do things. I don't want my customers to be scared of this weird foreigner stuff.
I love this. Oh, man. You know, when we think about sort of logic, sometimes we jump on these things, and I realize you look at him and you say he's an idiot. Of course he's an idiot. But the thing sometimes is you would hope that at least they would figure out when they're walking into the room and you could see everybody is lining up and everybody's just like sharpening the swords, and this woman is ready and you could hear it in her voice. She just wants to tear him to pieces, and he never even sees it coming.